great morning on the Chillin Show. Chrissy Cantor, Chill Girl, Alderman in Ward 6. So grateful to be with my bestie, Caitlin Plumpton.
Good morning.
Chill Girl extraordinaire. The foundation of Chill Spa. You know what? We've been together, oh my gosh. Well, I actually knew her when she was 6 years old. Mm-hmm. Grateful for her parents.
Right? Thank you for getting your hair cut where you did.
Exactly. Shout out to my favorite and best boss, Cheryl Vigu from the Mad Hatter. You know, we've got to really acknowledge the people that have made a difference in our lives and really helped mold us. Mm-hmm. And so I was grateful to see her the other day. But anyways, we're going to circle back around that. But Caitlin.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are going to bring it in 2025 and no more excuses.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
We're done with the excuses and we want to hold people accountable, hold ourselves accountable, be best friends for other people, and help us just feel better.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we feel better,
look better, feel better. That's what Gabby, Chill Girl Gabby always says, look better, feel better. And she reminds me of that. Like, she's like, you know, I'm just not feeling myself today. But you get up, you put your makeup on, you do it anyway, and then you end up feeling better.
Yeah, you do. You really, really do. And then you need a great hug from great friends.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And, you know, because it just matters. It matters connecting with people.
Yeah.
Which is
absolutely.
just so important.
Mm-hmm.
So we have so many exciting things going on at Chill. It's 19 years. Hard to believe it. In May,
yes,
we have existed. Chill Spa.
Chill has been established in 06.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep,
Yeah.
2006.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah.
It just feels weird because we haven't aged.
Right?
At all.
No.
We're exactly the same. We look the same. Yeah, we haven't changed at all. So
we just
20
had a couple
years.
Beautiful babies.
Yeah.
You know.
20 years went by like really fast.
It goes by too fast, and we're not promised tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And so no more excuses this year, and standing on the truth and kindness and love, transparency, and there's just so many blessings for 2025. Mm-hmm. And you know, there's so much to dive into today. We were like, we want to share our memberships at Chill Spa because we want you to look good and feel great. Mm-hmm. And then we want to talk about some important things of getting involved in your community, getting involved. Like I dove in to the world of politics, government, all of that stuff, because I was upset. I was a mama bear, a small business owner, and just fried because of the disconnect that what our government did to us. Mm-hmm. And so we're about uniting and sharing the truth. Yeah. And I think it's really, really important. Caitlin and I, we've been through so much together. I mean, there's nothing that can divide us. There's like, nothing.
Sorry.
I'm like, I told her husband when they got married, which it's been 12 years.
It was just our anniversary last week, 12 years.
Happy anniversry to you and Timmy.
Yeah.
I said to Timmy, I'm like, you're stuck with me too.
Yeah. This is like a marriage of, not in a weird way.
Friends. Yes, not a weird way. Forever friends, looking out for each other. We're both Manchester girls, born, raised here.
Yep, we just drove by my grandmother's old house.
Yeah,
where
so
my
reminiscing.
dad lived. Like my dad grew up there, and it's cool.
And so he was one street over because I was actually on Merrimack Street when I was 3 years old. Mm-hmm. So it's just unbelievable. And then down on Hayward Street, and I went to Beach Street School in first grade, and then up to Webster School. All of our journeys but we love Manchester, right. And we love people, and we're grateful. We are really blessed with the amazing women that we work with.
Oh yeah,
at Chill Spa. Shout out to our team,
Chill Girls.
Chill Girls.
It down while we're here.
And a shout out to Esmeralda and her new baby and for her family. And she's on maternity leave. We miss you, Esmeralda.
We do.
We really, really do. And, there's this just special bond that we have. And it's just really nice. We care about each other. We're all different. Mm-hmm. We're all different. I always say I work with highly opinionated, amazing women.
And all the ideas, they'll come together. It's nice because it's like, someone can say something. We learn a lot from our clients. We learn a lot from each other and just different life experiences. And no matter who is there or what, it's always something, you know, Gabby, oh, I feel like I might be coming down with it. Oh, take this, you know, and we're like giving this, you know.
Oil of oregano.
Oil of oregano. If you don't have the oil of oregano, you got to get it, because that is like kind of our not new thing, but, you know, learned about it, and it's like we're sharing it with everybody. So it's not always you're just sharing something about your skin or your, you know, your nails, whatever it is. We're sharing things about things that everybody
that have worked for us
and works for us,
and we've heard about. And it's funny because Caitlin, she's not a doctor, but I would call her Dr. Kate.
Yes.
I'm like, we got to call Dr. Kate, and I would say that to my daughter Dante, because, you know, she always had an answer for something. You have like this photographic memory. I don't know what it is, but you always have a solution. And
I remember weird things, but yet I can't remember like,
so
what did we have for dinner last night? I don't know, but I remember, you know, this
solutions.
Advice someone gave me however long ago.
And that's part of why we're so excited for RFK Jr. to be confirmed. And we want to share about that. Where's the information? He is...
Because what we have to do is reach out to your senators and say that you know, urge them to confirm RFK, and you can contact your senators.
Let's
see. Everyone has to
Jean
do it.
Shaheen, Senator Jean Shaheen at 202-224-2841.
Pick up the phone.
Call
and say you need to
confirm RFK Jr. because you want complete transparency and accountability for our health system. You know, completely. We want complete transparency. No one should be forced to do anything, and we should know what all the ingredients are. And I just want to circle back around to Kate, because when, you know, she's an ingredients person. You know, I'm like, all right, well, what do you think about this ingredient? What do you think about that ingredient? You know, we listen to different podcasts and we all learn so much and we share. And that's the beauty, is what works for one person may not work for another person.
Right.
But why not do the natural approach? And
why
we
not
should
try
know.
it?
Yeah. And we should know what's in our food. We should know what's on our food. We should know what's really going on.
It is nice now, like most things they have to say like bioengineered. So it's like, and it's, the thing is too, a lot of times there's another option, because like we used to always buy the French onion dip, you know, that's like a staple at every family thing, is the French onion dip with the chips, right? So now that you see that and it says contains bioengineered ingredients, and it makes you go, ooh, do I want to eat that? So my husband actually went to, he stopped in at Sully's, and there was a different brand that wasn't bioengineered, and it had, actually when you read the ingredients, it was all things that you could pronounce, and it was cleaner ingredients. And then actually my kids said that they liked it better. So I was like, perfect. So it's just finding those little swaps, and then you buy the chips that they're cooked in avocado oil instead of the seed oils. And the nice thing is now there are those options. So you can you can easily access that at the grocery store, and everything's labeled, you know, and that's what we need. We just need to know what we're eating, because people you don't realize even the long-term effects of, you know, the food dyes and the oils that are super inflammatory. And then all of a sudden, oh, why do I have all these symptoms when, you know, this is what my grandmother used to eat, but it's not the same anymore. So it's like, yeah, they did used to eat that, but it wasn't the same. It was made differently, and it's affecting every single part of your body.
Yeah.
You know? Whenever you see that McDonald's
And why do we
thing,
have so many allergies? Why are we so sick? Why are our kids so sick? Why?
Because it's something. It's not just nothing, you know? It's like, what is that? So if you can just kind of make those little swaps, you're eating the same thing, it's just a different brand, and it may be the same price, it may be a little more, it may be even less, you know? And but it's just doing those little things that help with keep the inflammation down in your body. And inflammation is like the root of all disease and sickness. Everything is from something that's causing an inflammatory response. So
thank you, Dr. Kate.
I'm not a real doctor. I just play one on TV.
And we just share.
Chill's like,
you know,
not,
sharing is just so important. And the Food Babe, that woman.
I love her.
Okay,
She's amazing.
you got to follow this woman. She is on fire for making America healthy again. So what's her handle on
think
Instagram?
it's just
The Food Babe.
Yeah.
Okay, unbelievable.
It may be Food Babe or The Food Babe. Let me look it up real quick. But
And the other thing is Plague of Corruption, Restoring Faith in the Promise of Science by Dr. Judy Mikovits. And I actually met her and I interviewed her. I didn't share my interview because it was just, sometimes you just have a lot going on and you haven't shared everything. And she is an unbelievable, brilliant woman. And the forward by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This is unbelievable. So we really need to restore the faith in the promise of science. And I highly recommend this. I have not read it yet, but I have watched her Plandemic series.com where she speaks out with Mickey Willis. It's just like unbelievable. We need to be sharing the truth, and I'm so grateful for what's going on with the executive orders and holding people accountable for censoring people that are sharing the truth,
right,
the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And so, if you are a brainiac, you've got to this book, Plague of Corruptions. Never mind Robert Kennedy Jr.'s book on Fauci. I've tried to fire him several times through the pandemic.
It's been her phrase.
I was like, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. Now we need to hold him accountable. But you know what? He has ruined people's lives with his lies and misinformation. And people need to be held accountable for what they did, and knowingly what they did was wrong.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When you know you're not sharing the truth,
right,
and it's affecting people's lives and ruining people's lives, breaking relationships, making people sicker. It's just awful.
Jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so we don't forget, it's The Food Babe.
Okay.
On
thanks.
Instagram, The Food Babe, and she's amazing. Like,
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really great, and she's a firecracker on top of it.
And when you say restore faith in the promise of science, it's like, yes, trust the science, but that's the thing. It needs to be transparent. Yes, real, the actual science, not manufactured science or like
not someone's
creepy
narrative.
Science. Yeah, like weird
It's
science.
like, what is the science? And science is always evolving.
Yes.
So then we have to share that truth. And we cannot suppress the truth anymore. So can you read this? I don't have my glasses on.
Yes.
And reach out.
I don't
All
have
right, so
mine
it's
either, but
really,
that's
really
okay.
important. RFK Jr., please support him. I know he's going to be confirmed because he's just brilliant and he cares. He really, really cares. And it's really about health freedom. It's not about forcing anything on anyone. It's about transparency and accountability. We should not have the pharmaceutical companies, owning the commercials and like pushing things, on us, brainwashing us. Oh, we need these drugs. We need these drugs.
Right. And
when
it's like
actually
you
we
really
need to
don't.
set ourselves free from the brainwashing.
Okay, so again, I know you already said it, but just in case, if
Thank
now
you.
you have your pen and pencil ready. Jean Shaheen, 202-224-2841, and Maggie Hassan, 202-224-3324. So that is who you need to call and say, hey, we need you. We urge
need
you
to vote correctly.
Yes, because we need that change. It just
Yeah.
needs to happen, and it's for everybody's health and the future generations. And it's everyone. It affects everybody. Everyone's affected by the way that everyone eats.
Yes, and the pharmaceutical companies, if they've done something wrong, they need to be held accountable, and we should be able to sue them.
Yes,
and
they're protected.
And they are
that's
protected.
wrong.
And we need to release the truth.
Yep.
It's
It's
and
so
that's,
true.
That simple. So releasing the truth too, I have to do a shout out to my friend Stuart Scheller. I had him on my show, gosh, I think it was like a year and a half ago, 2022. Oh my God, is that 2 years?
2022 it's now 2025, so 25 minus 22.
It was in
is
November.
3 years.
And he is the lieutenant colonel that called out the crisis that happened in Afghanistan. And brave individual, unbelievable book. I highly recommend this. He's been on the front lines fighting for the truth. And sometimes you have to call out your commander-in-chiefs, you know, whoever's in charge. We cannot stay silent anymore. No more. No more.
No.
And no more smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Only the truth, transparency, accountability. That is what we, the people of Manchester, we, the people of America, deserve, of the world. We deserve the truth. And let us decide what works for us.
Right.
Because we're all individual. We're all different, you know?
Everyone is different.
It is. It's a good thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would
It'd
be
be
really
boring. We don't want it to be boring.
No, we do not want to be boring. That is for sure.
For sure.
Keep it exciting.
Keep it
What
exciting.
Is this little thing
Oh
you
yeah,
have?
this is one of my favorite sayings. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country, by JFK. And releasing what happened to JFK and Martin Luther King Jr. I'm just so grateful to President Trump for his executive orders. And the executive order, oh my gosh. I can't stop being so excited for all of this
Every
goodness.
time you turn around, there's something
Riley Gaines.
positive. But
Oh
if
my
you,
God.
the problem
What a
is
fighter.
too, if you look at the, mainstream media,
media.
as they call it.
Fake news. Come on, give us
All
the
you
real
see
news.
is the bad stuff.
I know.
You just see the bad stuff. So,
We
there
don't-
is a lot of good happening.
There is a
people.
lot of good.
So
We
take
don't
the
want
blinders
boys in our
off.
girls' bathrooms. We don't want boys in our girls' sports. There's a reason why there's men's and women's sports. And thank you. And thank you, Riley Gaines, for speaking up. She is extraordinary. I was able to meet her and be at her event that the Federation, oh my goodness, Republican Federation of Women put on, which was unbelievable. Christy Peters and all the amazing women. And that's a great organization that if you want to get involved, you want to speak up and be with strong women, reach out to Christy Peters too. She's leading the way in New Hampshire.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just so cool.
I
Thank
like
you,
her
Riley
quote
Gaines.
here on the cover.
Yes, fighting for common sense in a world that's lost its mind. Well, we found our minds.
Yep, we found it.
And you know what? Every vote will count, and that's the most important thing is, showing up, speaking up. And I do want to make a shout out to, I do have, if you want to follow me as an alderman, Cantor for Manchester or you can follow me at Chrissy Cantor on Facebook. Trying to get on Twitter. It's like, when you're used to certain things and you just haven't jumped over and
Or
okay.
X. It's called X.
Oh
now.
yes, X.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. I
don't
turned
know.
55. I'm like, I don't need to know everything.
I don't have X.
But I'm like,
I never
oh
did.
my gosh.
Same with when everyone was
It's a
freaking
lot.
out about the TikTok thing. I never had TikTok, so I was like, I don't know. I couldn't watch the videos anyway, so.
For me, it's mostly about connecting with people,
Yes.
and that's why we really started this show, the Chill and Heal show, is
Yeah.
because how the beauty of connecting with people, and when the lockdowns happened, that's when we just really, we needed to connect more, and that's why I started my show and started talking about things and not being afraid.
Just a way to
It's like
reach people.
Fear not. Fear not.
Yeah.
Live fearlessly, and let's be fiscally responsible, and let's tell the truth. That's the big thing. Do want to do a shout out to all the people that came out for Manchester at the last BMA, talking about finances and what's really important in Manchester, and the kids are really important, and what's happening in the school system, and all the people that are silenced, the teachers and the administration that can't speak up because they are bullied and blacklisted from climbing, what do you say, climbing the ladder of
Yeah, I
of
mean,
the
well, when
education system?
when you're surrounded, I think, by people that have a certain mindset, it's hard to
Like you
feel
can't speak
comfortable speaking up because you don't have support, and then all of a sudden you're like the, outcast, and then
Yeah.
it's difficult.
Yeah. And for me, it was like the whole Beach Street school is to take away a big park from the inner city is not good. We need to be moving. We need the real green space that's already there.
Yes.
And to build a mega school when we already have problems within our schools that aren't being addressed is just insane.
Yeah.
The kids aren't getting the IEPs. I mean, we had a lot of state reps coming down and calling out, going, hey, listen, the money's not going to be there. It's going to hit the taxpayers. And we've already had a tax increase. We didn't need another tax increase when the mayor, Jay Rouet, actually did a budget that increased our taxes last year. So when he promised he wouldn't. So what is this? Promises made, promises not kept. That's a problem.
Right.
As an elected official, we need to keep our promises. I did not vote for his budget. I will not be voting for any kind of a tax increase again. You know what? We as Manchester people, as everyone, we've had to cut back in general. All of us.
Yeah.
All of us. Well, our government needs to cut back. And we need to hold our elected officials responsible for their promises. You got to keep your promises. Promises made, promises kept. That's what President Trump is doing right now. He promised, gonna get the boys out of the girls' locker rooms.
And that was one of the executive orders. There was, we were chatting this morning. There's like over 300 that have already been signed, something like that.
Unbelievable.
In how many days? It's like that's action, and that's what needs to happen.
That's what we need. Not smoke and mirrors. Not like, oh, look over here.
Yeah.
No, what are you actually doing? No tax on tips. Executive order. I mean, that is going to help people out big time.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's going to. That's huge.
It's unbelievable.
There's so many lock down the borders, no more criminals, like legal immigration,
Yes.
Everyone matters.
Yeah.
Everyone matters. And our kids matter. Our kids matter, and they need real education, and they need the IEPs that they were, promised. Promises made, promises kept. So
Yeah.
shout out to all those that came out to the BMA, and so if you go to cantorformanchester.com, you can find my Facebook page, and I do have some videos that are coming out with people that have spoken out against this. Because we can't forget, we won't be affected maybe this year about the Beach Street, but in another year, when the money doesn't come in.
Right.
And anyways.
It's a lot, and
It's
it's in every town too.
It is in every
like
town.
we are just.
You're in
hearing,
Goffstown?
Yeah, and it's like, it's crazy the increases. Like I think we have like one of the highest taxes in the state.
In the state.
Yeah, and so it's painful, and
you guys have an amazing crew of
yes,
people
we
that
have
are
a
fighting.
good crew, and it's all coming together. When
All
you're on
American.
Facebook, you start to get all these. I'm not on Facebook a lot, so I don't see everything. But like, it's like, oh, so and so for one of my good friends, Katie, is running for school board.
Yes.
And they're just building this. Yeah, Katie Myers.
Katie, follow her.
And Lindsay Lombo, those are my friends. But all these people that they have the best intentions and like knowing them personally, and you're just like, this is actually a good person, and they just want to make things better because they do have kids in the schools, and
and
you know
they
what I
care.
mean?
They care.
Yeah, and it is.
They want common sense.
Yes.
Common sense, good for everyone.
Yes, that's
everyone.
Common sense is what is needed. It's like, and stop just like spending money.
Yeah, yeah.
And okay, what does it really need to be spent on? I mean, I have to look at my budget every single month and go, all right, what?
Yeah. So
what
we
do
all
we
had
have?
to cut back.
What can we not have? All right, well, this is the things that are coming up. We need to say, okay, well, then we can't we can't go out to dinner 2 times this, in a week because we have to pay for this. And that's what we all have to do as, it starts at home, they say, right? Well, that's what we should be doing as a collective,
Yeah. We should
town,
have an
city.
open checkbook for the city and for the school district, especially when our kids aren't getting what they actually need is better education.
Yeah.
Period. And an extra recess, because it's really, really important to have that movement. It is good for their mind, body, and souls. It's so important.
Get moving.
Get moving. We need to get up, shake things off, even when we're like overwhelmed with all the stuff in this world. It's like just shake it off and then flick it off. That's what I always say. We need to flick it off. Get rid of it.
And we were just talking this morning about how, like, you know, January is like the longest month ever. It feels like it's like, oh my God, like 20 years. I feel like 20 years almost went by faster than January. It's like, oh my gosh, is it going to end? But the darkest days of the year are over, and the sun is out, and the blue sky, and you know, her daughter's not feeling well, and so she's like, get outside, just let the sun hit your skin for a minute, take some deep breaths of fresh air, and even if you're still, like, it just makes you feel that much better.
It does. It does. We need to get out, breathe, feel the fresh air, vitamin D. It's so, so important. Turn off the news. TV, the nation. You know what I mean?
Get outside.
Get outside.
Eat the healthy food. It's hard to stay motivated, but, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Look better. And we have some, just a side note before it gets too late, some fun membership options coming up at Chill. So for this year, it's like you're going to be able to brow up, you're going to get your skin glowing and those important things. And it's like committing to that. No, I'm going to take care of myself this year, whether it's just making sure I, you know, put my best face forward or whatever that may be for you. But yeah, those are coming to be launched soon, which is very exciting.
Probably like in the next week. We have mastered them down and we're super excited.
Yep.
So we're going to brow up, look and feel our best this year.
Yes.
And we are going to head to Fresh Chef Press, our good friends Abby and Shari, to have some delicious smoothies, acai bowls. So that's where we're going next. I think it's so important. Fuel your mind, body, and soul with goodness. Hug your friends, love, share the truth. Yeah. Share the truth
and whatever, like 2025, that, you know, get up, move.
Get to the gym.
It's not too late. Even though it's like everyone feels like, oh, January 1st, I got to get up and get going. I did not do that this year. I was like, but here we are now.
Here we are. So no excuses.
Start now.
Start now. Let's chill on. And until next time, just enjoy the beautiful day.
Yes.